Coming up this week on NotSoLive, I'm talking everything from music to religion with Abby Spear. Roll the titles.
Oh, you're gonna have fun editing this, aren't you?
I'm your host, Ethan Rylett. Welcome to NotSoLive. Well, it was the week where Donald Trump gave a deeply philosophical speech to the UN. In other words, he was meant to read a teleprompter. Badly.
Wrong.
But looking at this picture of his chief of staff, I don't think it went all according to plan. Let's be honest, as close as Trump gets to being deeply philosophical, he's asking himself what Putin thinks of what he's doing at the moment. Mr. President, what do you think of my wall? Sorry, that was just a terrible Trump impression.
Thank you for flying Ryanair. Last year, over 90% of our flights arrived on time.
As long as it wasn't cancelled. You may have seen that Ryanair have cancelled 50 flights a day for the next 6 weeks to reschedule pilot holidays. I guess soon we're going to start seeing them offering flights without any pilots. Yeah, and we all thought the rumour of having to pay for the toilet was worrying. Let's fly Ryanair. Theresa May once again showed her
Strong and stable
government this week as Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson came out with his own Brexit plan, against her wishes. She then went on to the UN and gave a speech where less people attended than Trump's inauguration. And that's hard.
wrong.
But they all made up in Florence, where Theresa May gave a speech telling us what Brexit would be like. Ended up being that, well, we're going to be staying in the EU until 2021 at least, and we're going to be paying quite a bit in divorce fees. Brexit means Brexit.
Wrong.
This week, TfL announced that Uber's licence to operate in London will not be renewed.
Say what?
And just as this was announced, parties began at Halo and Addison Lee offices. Now then, my guest this week, she's pretty much the best singer on YouTube. Let's take a look at Abby Spear in action.
Ricochet, take your aim, fire away, you shoot me down, but I won't fall, I am titanium, you shoot me down.
And put your hands together, my fake audience, for for Abby Spear, who joins me now. It's great to have you here today.
Hey.
Hi.
This is so bad. It's because we've already said hello and then we're like, oh.
It's really strange doing it, but you get used to it. So Abby, we saw there in that little intro that you do music on YouTube. You're a singer.
I am a singer.
What first got you into music?
Oh, my life. What first got me into music is that I was a hyperactive child that always needed something to do. So my mum gave me a recorder book with the idea of oh, I'll teach little Abigail how to play the recorder. Nope, I was straight away on there whizzing through the book, teaching myself recorder at 5 years old. So that's where it all started.
And I guess you didn't stop at recorder, so I might as well get into it now. What other instruments do you know? Put me to shame.
No, this is the thing. Everyone thinks that I can play everything. I absolutely cannot. I have dabbled in many things, but the only one I really stuck with was singing. So my first study is voice. But then I dabble in piano and ukulele. I used to dabble in, that sounds so weird, I used to dabble in recorder, clarinet and violin, but I don't really play any of those anymore.
So basically every instrument around that you've played?
I mean, if playing them means picking them up and making sounds, then yes, but if playing them means mastering them, then no.
You still managed to put me to shame.
I'll teach you. Next time we meet up, I'll teach you something.
Brighton, then.
What instrument do you want to
I
learn?
mean, what's the easiest?
I mean, the easiest to transport would be either recorder or ukulele.
I can play the recorder.
Can you? We could do a little duet.
I can probably not remember anything. Did it at school.
Ah, you'd pick it back up. We can be a little duo.
Played all the songs like Titanic and I don't know what else we used to play, but yeah, all those cheesy songs.
I really want this to happen. Next time everyone gets together, I want to give everyone a recorder and make us all play.
Well, we could collab for your channel.
I know. I'm not sure I'd want to put. You can go on my second channel.
It could go on Abby Vlogs.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this has gone off topic.
Sorry.
I mean,
That shows you're a good interviewer. It means you like connect with your guests.
yeah. So, what would you describe your musical style as?
I would describe my musical style as classical voice meets accessible tunes. Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I had classical written down.
But it's not classical music, so...
No, but the voice, it's like a... I don't know that you might feel offended by me saying this, but it's like an opera person's voice.
I mean, I'm opera trained, so that doesn't offend me at all.
Okay, there we go. I've hit it on the nail.
Yeah, hit it on the nail, have you? Not hit the nail on the head. I hit the nail.
Oh my god, what is happening to me?
I've gone so red on camera from laughing.
With your iconic laugh.
Iconic laugh, I know. I feel like I don't know if that's a good thing to be known for. Infamous, let's say.
I was talking to Jack the other day, I think it was Jack. I do this all the time. I say on these episodes I was talking to, and
Yeah.
no one's got any idea who these people are. I was talking to Jack. I was talking to Jack McLean. His link will be down below, about laughs, and we were saying that between you and Coral, if you know Coral, you've got we should have like a laugh off because you've both got really unique laughs.
Yeah, I don't know who this person is, but I want to meet them and bond over our laughs.
Well, she was on the show last week, so just go and watch that.
Well, there you go. It's because it's not so live, so I don't know who was on last week.
Okay then, so you upload your singing to YouTube. What made you decide to actually want to do that?
I was terrified of doing it for ages. For a long time, I kind of had being an opera singer as my goal. And there's a lot of snobbery in the opera world, and I was scared that if I put things online, it would come back and bite me in the bum, with opera houses being like, oh, what are you singing that for? Or no, that technique wasn't perfect. So I was really scared to for a long time because I thought it might block any doors into the opera world. And then I decided that if people were going to be that snobby or that looking down on people, then they weren't the sort of people that I'd want to work with anyway. So I was like, I'm just gonna brave it. I'm gonna face my fear and just put stuff up because I love singing. I love the sound of classical voice as well. And what happened, this is gonna get slightly tell me if this is boring. So with music
No, go ahead.
With music, we like what we know, so the pleasure sensors in our brain more pleasure sensors spark in our brain, or they spark more strongly, I'm not sure which, when we hear a piece of music that we know than when we hear a new piece of music, even if the new piece of music would be much more to our taste. Because we don't know it yet, it doesn't spark off the pleasure sensors, which is why all pop music does sound the same. That's intentional, that's not a bad thing, it uses similarities so that when we hear it, we kind of feel familiar with it and we like it anyway. And I was like, I want to get a classical sound out there so that people can appreciate it more and enjoy it more. Because if they're never hearing it, then they're never going to like it. So I was like, well, if I can combine it with stuff that they do know, then that's it's all accessible and that's cool. Does that make any sense? I feel like that was a really long ramble.
Yeah. Not like it makes anything to me because I'm not a musical person.
No, that should have made sense though, even if you're not
yes.
Yeah, so that was really long-winded as to why I put stuff online.
So So you were talking about the pleasure of classical music. I'm guessing that's not the only type of music you listen to?
No. No. I actually, more often than not, listen to not necessarily classical music. I kind of got into classical music because that's kind of what my voice could do. That was where it obviously like worked. But no, I listen to all sorts. I hate it when people ask me to choose like a favourite type of music because I'm like, I don't know. And because I'm a school music teacher as well. Hey kids, if you watch. Like, I listen to loads of stuff in terms of like what I'm teaching at the time. So yeah, I listen to everything, like everything.
And I loved how you said, hey kids, if you're watching. Somehow I doubt they're going to be watching.
You don't know. They found my YouTube channel within like a week of me starting the job.
I was going to say that. I was going to ask you about that later on. But
were you?
Well, now, because some of my students, if you didn't know, I teach English to Spanish kids.
I know.
And
I know that.
They might not know that. They might not watch my vlogs. But if you do, the links to that stuff as well. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going off topic a lot here. Like, just rambling on.
That's good. We're just having a chat. It's a chat show.
Okay, so yeah. Were you not worried about your students finding out about your YouTube?
The first, at my last, not the first school that I was at, the school that I was at before this one, I was really nervous about it and I kept it really under wraps. And then it was quite late into the year that they found it. And then I was like, oh, this is so weird. I don't know if it's okay or not. So then at this school, I put it in my application form. I was like, I make videos on the internet. This is a thing that you know now. I've been upfront about it from the start. Yeah, I've been upright about it. And because I was upfront about it from the start, I wasn't worried about them finding out. And then these kids found out way quicker than my kids at the last school. So it was good that I'd just been upfront. And I think that's the way to go in so many areas of life. Let's get deep, let's get philosophical. Like, if you're just open about stuff, then it's not scary. Like, when you're hiding things, it causes so much, like, that you're gonna get found out. But actually, once people know, it's like...
Yeah.
And because I'm very, very, like, PG and clean cut, and I'm just making music or just chatting to the camera, like, it's not that I'm worried about anything they're gonna hear. Like, I'm never gonna, like, I don't know, like, it's stuff that I'd be happy for anyone to watch. It's stuff that I'd be happy for my parents to watch or whatever. So then it's like, well, got nothing to hide.
So where would you like to see your YouTube career go?
Oh, my life. I'm having like a crisis about this at the moment.
Well, considering you've uploaded for the first time in 7 months.
So, I'm just going to tell you all about this. By the time this is uploaded, hopefully I'll have made some sort of decision. So like I say, I was always pursuing opera, but literally last night I had a bit of a like, and I spoke to my singing teacher about it. And I don't know if I'm pursuing my singing teacher.
Oh, okay.
I still have singing lessons.
I thought you said your PE teacher. I was like, I didn't know.
Yeah, I was speaking to my PE teacher. No, I was speaking to my singing teacher about it. And I don't know if I'm going to pursue opera anymore. Which would mean that I can pursue the YouTubey stuff and that different take on like the classical voice alongside pop music and like maybe begin songwriting. That's scary.
No, that's great, going into songwriting.
So that's a big decision that I'm considering at the moment, like retiring from opera before I'm actually old enough to
That
start
sounds
properly.
really strange saying retired, but when you're...
Well, it's because I don't want to say like quitting, because I would still sing it when I enjoy it, and I'm still pursuing like making my technique more and more released, and like, so it's not a quitting, it's just a like not seeing opera as the career anymore, but pursuing a broader musical spectrum and like actually getting good at the piano and like playing around with more composition and actually learning the ukulele properly and learning the guitar and playing around with songwriting and lyrics and stuff. So it's like I don't know. This is what I'm just basically having a crisis / epiphany.
So, you know when people say they're going onto YouTube to find themselves? You've come onto YouTube and everything's just basically unravelled.
Oh my life, I don't know. Yeah, so, but I feel like it's less of an unravelling and more of a like, is this what I'm actually supposed to be doing?
Ooh,
Like,
your
is
destiny.
This actually... Yeah, I feel like it's more... I'm a very like, I don't like being like, I'm like this and I'm like this. But I'm very like, as you know, like, and like my brain's like kind of constantly like seeing things from lots of angles and like drawing lots of things in, and I like being creative and I like doing things differently, and I've always been a bit of a like, I just like everything creative, and I like things that push me, and I don't really like things that are like, this is the right way to do it and you have to be right, because I don't think that's I don't know, I don't think that's a growth kind of way of doing things. I know some things have to be right and that's fine, but and opera is very much like, do it right, have perfect technique, sing it all perfectly. Whereas I like playing around with covers and doing things differently. So I'm like, oh wait, is this actually like way more me? I don't know. Existential crisis. You're getting this all like fresh. You're like the third person I've spoken to about this. And this is going on the internet for all your audience to see. So...
Not for a month though, you've got until the last week in September.
By then I might have like totally changed my mind and be like, no, actually, I'm going to be an opera singer.
We'll have to get a follow-up, like...
I know, you're getting like... all in my brain.
So Abby will be back in season 4.
What season is this?
3.
I
love how I'm calling it seasons when the first block of episodes I did was like 6 episodes, and the second block I did was 3 episodes, and I just, after the third episode, I had to stop, and I know this sounds really stupid, but it was when the election was on in the UK and I was getting way too political in my monologue, so I was like, no, let's just put this aside for a bit, let's get all this over and done with.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because it was, I know like stand-up comedians do it and they all get like political in the monologues, but I was taking it to the next level. And I was like, I don't want to alienate either side, I want to be able to take the mick out of both sides, and it was just turning out, so like, no, I'm putting this on hold until September and then we'll start it up again, get like 20 episodes done, running into Christmas.
20? You're so ambitious.
I want to do it until Christmas and then have like Christmas specials.
Yeah, that would be so fun.
So you've, as well as your main channel where you do your singing, you've got a second channel where you do other stuff. What do you do on there?
It's a place for anything to go. At the moment, I wanted to start doing more vlogging and talking, which I actually used to do a lot of on my main channel, but then I decided to hone in and make it a music channel, so those are all like unlisted now. But then I was missing vlogging and chatting and connecting with people in the chattery way, which is very, very different to how you connect with people through music. So I debated for ages whether to put it on my main channel or whether to keep it separate. So that's what I did, I kept it separate. And yeah, I haven't yet returned to that channel after my hiatus, but there are plans.
I love how you call it a hiatus.
Well, it was. I had a hiatus.
I watched your Vlogmas videos, or the few that you've still got, well, that you've got up on there.
Yeah, I had to stop halfway through because I was halfway through auditions.
You what? Sorry?
I had to stop that series halfway through because I was halfway through auditions, and I was like, I'm putting all my time into talking to a camera instead of preparing. So that's why there's only like 6. Sorry, carry on. I'm totally interrupting you. But
No, go ahead, it's fine. There will be revenge though. Remember, we do have this spinning wheel to go. Okay, so I don't know whether you actually want to talk about this or not, but I noticed on your videos you were open about talking about your religion and faith, so to say.
yeah.
Do you not find that you might like, I don't want to use this word, but alienate some viewers that might come because you are sharing your religion and your faith online?
I think that it's the opposite of alienation that would happen, because I'm opening up more. It's a huge part of me, and it means like a lot to me, and it's fully what I believe. So by opening up about it, I'm like letting people in. I'm like just kind of stripping down. That sounds weird. Stripping myself there. Yeah, like you're because it is like a potentially like risky thing to talk about. You're kind of being vulnerable with your audience, like you would be with friends. Like you're opening yourself up to that. So I'm not worried that it'll alienate as such. And what I try to do with it is I try to ask questions and sometimes share things that I think, but more often than not, just ask questions and just put things out there and like start a conversation. I don't ever plan on like preaching on my channel and being like, I believe this is a thing. But because like it means so much to me and I think it is such important stuff, like if it's true, if the Bible is true, then it's really important. Like, and because I do believe it's true, it's like, why would I not share something so important and get conversations started, like, with my friends and with people who mean a lot to me and with everyone. So yeah, it feels very natural. It doesn't feel like, I hope I will never like offend anyone with it or make anyone feel like I'm saying you must believe this or you must do this, because I'm very like not that type of person. I'm very like see things from like a million different angles, and just because you say one thing doesn't mean you can't see it from that side or whatever. So
yeah. And I know what you're saying, because I can sometimes get into rants and go off on my political rants on Twitter or on YouTube. But I feel like I always say that if you can't respect the other side of the argument, then don't share it. So I am always trying to provoke thoughts and like trying to not ramming my opinion down people's throats, but like just basically sharing what I think and wanting people to if I'm wrong, if what I'm thinking is wrong, then get people to educate me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think discussions are so important, and I think so often like we're quite scared to actually have a discussion or to give our opinion because people don't like people disagreeing with them. But I actually like think that's how we learn and we grow, by like you have this mindset and then you're never going to get out of that unless someone disagrees with you or gives you a different angle or shows you how to point in this direction, and that's where you like think deeper and push yourself further and like grapple with stuff. So I think disagreements, as long as they're like you say, like respectful and like loving and like done in friendship, I think disagreements are good things.
And even if you...
as long as they're not mean.
Yeah, and even if you do end up not agreeing, respect each other's opinion. Because everyone's entitled to their own opinion at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's like...
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So yes.
Yeah!
Okay.
Yeah, I think that... sorry,
the final question.
Okay.
Before we move on to the not-so-wheel of misfortune.
You can tell how nervous I am.
Does getting big on YouTube scare you? Or does getting big in the musical world, since that's kind of what you do in music, scare you?
I mean, I'm not big either on YouTube or in the musical world, so...
But does the potential of becoming big and becoming famous scare you? Thought-provoking.
Not in a, like, visceral way. Like, I don't feel any, like, pangs of anxiety or, like, adrenaline, like, in a bad way rush through me at the thought of it. But I guess if it became more of a reality, I would start looking at it from, like, lots of different angles and think about it in lots of different ways. So not currently, but that doesn't mean that I never would feel scared of that. Does that make sense?
I guess it's different for you, because everybody else that I've asked this question to this series, they've all just been YouTubers. And with YouTubers, I guess it's easy to escape because you've only got one generation that watches you. So if you watch all the big YouTubers, they do everything that they want to do in public out in the day when they're the most of the people that watch them are either at school, at university or whatever. I guess, and I guess with you, if you made it into the music world, and I don't even know if this is what you want to do, but if you did make it into the music world, then you'd be recognised by a broader range of persons, so I guess it would be totally different to a YouTuber becoming famous, if that makes any sense there. I feel like I just rambled on.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like YouTube is one platform, but I'm kind of pursuing two platforms, so it's different. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
It's a big question.
So that brings us to the end of this, and if you can tell, I'm getting a bit excited now because we have a new thing here on NotSoLive, which is yet to be named. This is the Not So Wheel of Misfortune. Each week it will go head to head with the guest. In the first spin it will either decide a game to play or something to do with my guest's video. If it lands on a video related slice, then the guest will spin again, but this time the game will only have a forfeit for me. Now back to me sitting exactly here, but talking to my guest. Let's go. If it stops on number 1, we're playing the game. Who tweeted this? If it stops on number 2, Abby will be covering Chandelier by Sia. If it stops on number 3, it's Two Truths, One Lie. If it stops on number 4, Abby will be covering Symphony by Zara Lawson. Number 5, we're having to go at impressions and accents. Number 6, she's covering Secret for the Mad by Dodie. Number 7, we've got to try and come up with some diss tracks right now. Right here. And number 8, she will be covering Wings by Birdie. I felt like proper TV presenter wise then when I was doing that.
I know, you were like on it with your script.
Are you nervous to what song you were going to be covering?
No, because you were really nice and let me give you suggestions.
I did ask her for
super nervous.
for 4 songs that she wants to cover because it's the first time we've done this. What do you think it is?
What do I think it is?
Yes.
I think, let's say Birdie Wings.
It landed on number 6, Secret for the Mad by Dodie.
Ah, cool.
Okay, so we go for another spin now.
Okay. Ooh.
And we decide the game. It landed on impressions. Accents.
Oh, okay.
So let's say we've got 3 accents. I get to choose 3 accents for you to do, you get to choose 3 accents for what I want to do. If I don't do the accents up to what you call standard, then you will get tweets.
Oh, I just knocked my headphones out. I'm still here. Okay, sorry.
Did you get the rule? Okay.
Yeah, I like it.
So what accent, who wants to start actually? Do you want to start or shall I start?
I'll start.
I've got no idea if this is going to work. This is the first time I've actually done anything like this.
Oh, I feel special. Okay, I want you to do a Welsh accent.
Whose coat is that jacket? I went down to the market and I couldn't find mine, but I found this person's.
Why do you think that Welsh people lose them?
Because we had a...
You went with it.
What? Was that a pass? Yay!
I was going to say pass.
Okay.
Oh, I feel nervous.
Since Jack has an obsession with saying that you're posh,
Yeah.
I want you to do a commoner accent from London.
Alright, so I feel like I just really don't like it when people call accents common, because I just think, like, what's common? Common is about numbers, innit? Like, just like there might be more posh people than like common people, but then they'd be the common ones, innit? Like.
That was amazing.
It was quite Essex. It was quite Hemel, actually, which is where I'm from.
Well, actually, since you've not got a forfeit anyway, it doesn't really matter, but I say you pass.
Yeah,
Okay, then give me another.
Okay. I would like you to do an upper RP accent, upper received pronunciation, which other people might refer to as the Queen's English.
William, come here, William. It's time to go for our morning walk, William. Your grandmother is still signing all the laws into law because, you know, she's the Queen of England.
Like a well-spoken northerner. You do not sound like the Queen.
That wasn't RP then, was it?
Are you coming, William? That was not RP, darling.
Do we have to do this now?
Oh, yeah. I wanted to just be able to do it from your phone. It's so upsetting to not.
Well, I'll be doing exactly what you tell me to.
Okay. I mean, this is where you can just see that I'm not a comedian, because it won't be funny, whatever I say. I'm trying to think what would be like slightly believable that for you to put. Are you able to like justify like, oh, Abby tweeted for me,
No,
or are you
not
not
until
say
the
it
episode comes out.
Okay.
Actually, let's. Let's do that.
What are you gonna say?
Just can't justify. It's out there. Once it's out there, it's out there.
I want you to tweet. Oh, I just don't know. I don't know. That. Does anyone have any quick fixes for diarrhea? ... Got a date tonight.
I'm going to use the runs instead of quick fixes because that.
Yeah. Okay.
That's more what I'd use.
Yeah.
Quick
Quick
fixes
for the runs.
for the runs. ...
Got a date tonight. Don't want to have to keep running to the toilet. ...
Don't wanna have to keep running to the loo.
Okay.
I'm gonna get you to do a Texan accent.
That's like Southern American, isn't it? Like, I don't really know. I feel like I can't like get into like the feel of it. Like, I don't know. I feel like I don't want to go like full on like hillbilly. Like I feel like maybe like offensive to like Texan. I feel like if anyone from Texas watches this, they're gonna be like, who? What does she think she's doing? Like, I don't know.
How are you so good at doing accents? Again, I'm not sure if it was Texan, but it was definitely Southern American.
I mean, it wasn't.
Like,
Yeah.
okay. My third and final accent for you. Oh no, it's you. To me. What am I on about?
Yeah.
Your
What are you
third
doing?
and final
Trying to get out of
accent
it.
to me is...
Just because you live in Spain and I'm intrigued, because I feel like you'll probably be good at this, a Spanish accent,
Speaking English.
but on an English
It's not
language.
going to work, let me tell you that now.
Why?
Okay, I'm going to get into the zone. Hi, I am from Spain, but I am here in England and I want to go to Big Ben. Where is Big Ben? I want to hear the bong, bong. When What was that?
I want to hear the bong, bong.
Oh my god.
No, I'm not going to give it to you. I gave you that one and I was like, well, I'll obviously give it to him because like he knows and I don't know what it is. But like whatever it was, that wasn't it.
I thought I did so well.
Okay, I tell you what, if any of your like Spanish friends watch this and they're like, no, that was good. What's she on about? Like, she actually doesn't know what's
I
going
get a tweet
on.
for you then. Yeah.
Yeah. If when this is uploaded, if they're like, no, she's wrong.
Okay. What is it going to be? I feel like you have to carry on from the last tweet, otherwise it will become too believable.
I agree. Yeah, exactly. It has to follow on. So, like, so I don't have any quick fixes for the runs.
Met her on Tinder.
No, I think you just say, like, legit need help. Legit need help. Please send me your tips for a runny tummy. I don't know. I want you to say, like, please send me your tips, because I want to see if anyone actually does send you tips. Would this be how you'd phrase it?
Yeah, I'm not saying.
So what, hang on, what does it say at the moment?
Legit need help, please send me your tips for...
Please send me your tips for stopping the runs.
Please send me your tips
Can't believe you. No, for putting a plug in the runs. Please send me your tips for putting a plug in the runs.
Oh my God.
you're not allowed to say
what are
to
you doing to
anyone.
me, Abby?
I mean, I was always going to make a poo joke. It was always going to happen.
It's gone. Wait, I'm getting my revenge now. I want you to do...
Oh, yeah.
I want you to do a Scottish person who's lived in Australia all his life, so I want an Australian-Scottish mix.
Okay, so this is like my Scottish, like, this is where I'd go with it.
No, I'm changing my mind.
And then, like... Okay.
I want
Sure.
a New York accent. That's hard.
New York. Like... It's kind of American in lots of ways, but it's quite like shop. Like they kind of when they beat Aussie. So this is my Aussie. You've had my Scottish. Like
that is the end of this week's episode of NotSoLive. Oh my God! Make sure you go check Abby out. All the links will be on the bio and on the end card. I'll see you, well, I don't even know if this episode's ending here. There might be a surprise segment coming up right now. Thanks for joining me, Abby.
Thanks for having
Spears
me.
with an S.
No! Spear with no S on the end. One singular spear.
Is all it takes to kill me. Bye.
Bye.
This time this is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on, starting right now.